I look like I haven't slept in 5 days. Probably because I haven't. Hi there. Some of y'all might be wondering why I'm dressed like this. Well, I live in Houston, Texas. Still confused? I will explain. The good old Rona got a little bit lonely and decided to call up her friend Winter for a little schmoosin'. And when that bitch arrived, she hit us hard. This could probably be one of the longest winter vortexes to ever hit Texas in recorded history. It was so intense that it was causing a strain on 2/3 of the city's power grid. Well, basically it means 1 million households ended up without power in a rolling blackout situation. And some people on my social media are blaming it on windmills? Anyway, most of my friends have finally gotten their power back and get their heaters back up and running. Come to think of it, I'm actually sitting under mine. So I think I can probably take this off. Enough of the spiel. Let's dive into what you guys are really here for. The reactions. Spooky arm warmers. Art thou terrified? Today we are reacting to Nuke's Top 5's 5 scary ghost videos that'll make you punch your screen. No way in the 9 circles am I going to make a gag out of that. I've learned my lesson from last time.
Flashback.
Oh, I didn't expect it to actually hit anything.
End of flashback.
I cannot control my own strength. How about instead I give you guys this viral gif of a man punching his computer screen in fear. Earbuds. Screen capture. And we're golden. So let's get started.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. I featured the YouTube channel Ghosts of Carmel, Maine many times on Nuke's Top 5, so I won't go through a full recap.
And one of the most frightening encounters are in fact apparitions. Son of a...
Never saw that before.
Do something.
Wow. Okay, that one I saw.
One night, Ken hears voices coming from downstairs and records as he heads down to investigate. He is not prepared for what he finds waiting in the dark first floor TV room.
Son of a... What the hell are you?
Hello. Ooh.
Honey?
As Kent walks into the pitch black room, the TV has somehow turned itself on. Now this might explain the voices, but as he pans his camera around the room, a dark shape suddenly appears right in front of the television screen. The shadow figure seems to collapse into itself as it disappears right in front of his eyes.
What the hell are you? I did not go back to sleep that night.
So did Kent capture yet another shadow apparition in his haunted house? You decide. Checking out early. Iraqi fitness trainer Mustafa from the YouTube channel Mustafa Altai says that he heard a strange story about a family who had fled their home in Iraq many years ago because a sinister jinn began haunting their home. The house has been left abandoned for over 60 years, as the family says they couldn't find anyone willing to rent or buy the cursed property. Mustafa goes to investigate the house with his friend Salar to see if the spooky stories are true. Now it's certainly a bit hard to see, but when the video is slowed down and enhanced, a very strange figure can be seen standing at the window. Now it's unclear exactly what this bizarre shape could be, but when Mustafa's camera pans back, the dark figure has disappeared.
It kind of looks like one of those, you know, like old static video game models that it, you know, if you used to put the mesh in by itself, it would just stand there like this with its arms, you know, diagonally out like this. And if you gave it like an in-game AI, it would maintain this position, but it would like, you know, move around a bit while staying frozen in this position. That's kind of creepy. That's kind of scary.
After the two explorers enter the house, things only get weirder. The two friends hear strange sounds coming from the staircase. They go to investigate, and this happens.
He just wants to play Donkey Kong with you guys, man. Oh, did they just leave? Did they just nope the fuck out of there?
Eventually, Mustafa convinces Salar to come back, but after hearing more scary, unexplained sounds, they both decide to leave. Mustafa uploads his video to YouTube, and many of his viewers want to see more. In the video comments, his fans dare him to go back and actually spend the night in the haunted house. So, Mustafa agrees. He returns to the house, determined to stay the night, this time all alone. Mustafa sets up a few static cameras in one of the rooms and attempts to settle in for the night. But before long, Mustafa's night takes a terrifying turn.
We heard it. We heard it. Okay, there are very few things that the supernatural can do to actually terrify me, and that kind of eerie moaning happens to be one of them. I mean, most of my triggers when it comes to fear is auditory. I mean, there's some of my fears that can be triggered visually, but that usually just comes from jump scares and stuff.
Strange moans and loud bangs keep Mustafa on the edge and unable to rest. But little does he know, things are about to get even creepier.
Oh my.
A heavy piece of stone sitting on top of the fireplace seems to move on its own. Then,
That's
as
what
if
that
propelled
was.
by an invisible force, it violently crashes to the ground, nearly landing on Mustafa's head.
Messed it by that much. You can always count on me for the 200-year-old references.
He's only been inside the house a little over an hour, but he decides to put an early end to his overnight investigation. But now here's where things get really creepy.
Ooh, there's
Because
more.
the most terrifying part of Mustafa's stay inside the house isn't even what he saw or heard with his own eyes and ears. You see, his static cameras caught video of something strange that he wasn't even aware of. Something downright chilling.
Oh my god, is that the paint bucket that was...
Did you see it? As Mustafa is repositioning his static camera, a dark figure appears behind him on the staircase.
Oh.
It slowly moves down the stairs without making a sound, and then disappears out of sight. But this isn't the only time Mustafa captured this creepy figure during his nighttime stay. Again, a dark, very bizarre figure quickly appears behind Mustafa, not once, but twice. Could it be that he captured the jinn that haunts the home on camera? Whatever it is, it seems to change shape, size, and even transparency. So just what is this?
Yeah, that is really weird. But I wouldn't say it's more terrifying than the brick from the mantle of that fireplace that almost conked him right in the head. Also, did that happen after he called the jinn a weak creature? That ghost was just not having that.
The haunted Ancient Ram Inn. With a past as dark as the Ancient Ram Inn, it's not surprising that it is said to be the most haunted building in all of England. The mysterious inn was built way back in the year 1145 on top of a pagan burial ground, and it served as the home to slaves, masons, and workers. In the 1500s, a woman hid out in the building before she was captured and burned as a witch. Years later, the innkeeper's daughter is said to have hung herself in the attic. And as if all that wasn't creepy enough, the decaying remains of sacrificed children were found buried under the inn's floor. So, British paranormal investigators Sean Kenna, Sean Owen, and Carl Hassel from the YouTube channel Dark Territory traveled to the haunted inn to investigate the multiple claims of paranormal activity.
Are you the witch? They call this room the witch's room, so we only assume that you, the witch, you're felt in here.
Did anyone hear the voice a second ago before you said you're felt in here?
No. Witch, you're felt in here. Witch, you're felt in here. Did you used to sleep in this bed, witch?
tell you, this is the...
Fell smart on my leg, man. Someone was on my leg.
Jesus Christ, bro!
Touched my leg.
So, why would you deliberately refer to someone calling them, you know, witch? Sounded a little bit disrespectful and almost like you're trying to provoke a reaction. And in some cases that might be acceptable, just not the way that you're doing it.
Later, Sean Kenna and Sean Owen are exploring on the second floor. Things get even stranger.
What little room are you hiding in? Come on, show yourself. I'm sure you're not afraid of me and Owen.
Guys, the door's just open.
A door to the attic opens on its own and the team can't find any explanation for the strange occurrence. There was no draft, and the team had been walking back and forth past the door many times without it making any movement whatsoever.
You around me now? You make a sound. What the was that, bro?
What, man?
This something's just fallen off here.
Is that? Touch me, man! What the?
Something's wrong with Carl. He's obviously.
Holy shit, man.
We need to go.
You get me the out of here now, Joe. Bro, I just seriously, someone just whacked me, no joke. I heard something being thrown or something, and I was like, come on, and then someone just whacked me, no joke, as if someone just punched me in the chest. Me.
Carl begins to freak out as he feels something touching his leg. A candle then falls onto the floor, but scariest of all, something unseen slaps Carl on the chest. The violent smack is actually loud enough that the audio can be heard on camera.
Well, you were calling her a witch and provoking her.
And I was like, what did you think was going to happen?
The House of the Burned Man. Popular Mexican paranormal investigator Alberto Del Arco travels to a mansion in Manzanillo, Mexico. The massive hillside estate has been mysteriously abandoned for over 35 years.
Muy dañada. Mira, ven. Ven a ver esto. ¿Estás bien? Sí. Casi me estrella en la cara, güey. ¿Lo viste? Su madre.
Oh, with a bat. That's cute.
While exploring the strangely constructed mansion, the team hears what sounds like a child's voice, followed by the sound of a breath. Even though the unexplained sounds are barely picked up by their microphones, the three explorers all seem to hear it very clearly. Next, Alberto has a frightening close encounter with a bat. And after that, the team just decides to continue their investigation outside as they check out the other buildings on the sprawling estate. But even though Alberto is very skeptical, what happens next is not so easy to explain.
Admiring this very voluptuous support theme.
¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, güey, a mí se me hizo ver a alguien acá. ¿Allá? ¿Dónde? 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 ¿No habrá sido una sombra? ¿No habrá sido algún árbol? ¿Alguna rama? ¿Lo habrá trabado o no? ¿Sí? Ok, habrá que revisar ese material.
Alberto's cameraman captures what appears to be a white translucent figure on camera. A little later into their investigation, and they capture something again. Bats come flying out towards the cameraman, but it's not a bat that spooks him. A bizarrely shaped shadow seems to be staring back at him from just inside one of the rooms. They go to check it out, but there's nothing there. The figure has vanished, leaving nothing behind but a very foul stench. Before long, the echoing sound of a raging party being celebrated somewhere nearby starts to make it impossible for them to capture clear, uninterrupted audio. Alberto and his team have no choice but to wrap up their investigation. However, right before they leave, they capture something truly chilling.
Ok, con cuidado. Ok, ¿les parece si bajamos? Digo, aquí no hay más que una pequeña explanada. No está tan espectacular como la de arriba, quizá. Pero se me hace curioso que esté este piso, ¿no?
At the time they recorded this, the team says that they were completely unaware that someone or something seemed to be watching them from the tree line. They catch an unexplained figure on camera, just barely visible in
there
the
he
dark.
is.
So, did Alberto Del Arco and his two cameramen capture evidence of paranormal activity at the mansion? Is it possible that the ghost of the burned man, who the house is named after, was watching them? Let me know what you think. Just passing through. Paranormal investigators beyond the realm paranormal investigate the Alton Railway Station in Staffordshire, England. The 5 investigators set up motion detectors on the platform close to what used to be the railway track. They start recording, and what they capture is truly bizarre.
So that's just Nick setting off the motion detector. It only goes off when something walks in front of it. There you go. Straight after you. It's followed you.
Let me do it one more time for you. I want you to follow me exactly where I come from. Norton Bridge Hotel. Remember?
We need to do that. No!
When lead investigator Nick walks back and forth setting off the motion detector, something seems to follow him. Then suddenly a super fast moving white mist seems to pass right through him, knocking him a step back.
We need to do that. No!
What's especially creepy is that Nick seems to both see and react to the mist as it passes right through his body.
Hang on a second, let's go back a little bit.
Back and forth setting off the motion detector.
There. Are we not going to talk about the little thing that dashed, like, right in front of the camera there? That was some pretty good footage in there. I particularly enjoy when Nuke covers videos from Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. I've seen so many videos of Nuke's coverage of the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine, and I'm glad that it's still being documented. So, coming attractions, I'm mostly going to switch over to bass covers now, and the organ is going to be on reserve for like special occasions or for demonstration purposes only. The further on I know what to do, the further on I will know how to metamorphosize my channel, but at the moment I'm going to start focusing more on bass covers, and I'm still going to do these reaction videos on Wednesday because, truth be told, these videos actually gain a lot more traction than any of my music videos. So this is what we're going to be doing for a little while. So that was today's dive into the paranormal. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell down there in order to be notified of when I post. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and for watching, and I will see you guys on Friday.